Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Brandy Pember out of 317 Holistic Health in Indianapolis, Indiana. And today we are going to be talking about what is Reiki. And this little guy here apparently decided he's going to be the co-star today and he just wants to be involved. He always wants to be involved. This is Mr. Meow, by the way. And he might actually be helping us with a little bit of a demonstration here shortly. So before we get into our topic, you guys want to go like and subscribe so that way you guys can stay up to date with the newest tips and different wellness tips that we might have for you. Also go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and our blog on our website because there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming there. So anywho, hello. So into the topic, what is Reiki? Well, by definition, Reiki is a healing technique based on the principle that the therapist's energy is being put into the client by means of touch to activate the natural healing process of the client's body to restore physical as well as emotional well-being. So although Reiki has traditionally been used as a healing system, it's also extremely effective as a way of helping individuals increase their awareness, insight, wisdom, and personal growth, really. So our bodies are made up of water and electrical frequencies. Oop, he's coming back. Sir? Sir. We are trying to have a discussion here. Sorry. Anywho, our bodies are made up of water and electrical frequencies, and this is very normal. Everything has a frequency. Not just human bodies and plants and animals, but everything has frequency. The chair has frequency, the ceiling has a frequency, your jewelry has frequencies. So everything has a frequency to it, but the practitioner will then use their electrical frequency to then balance out all of the, what's a good way to put it? Like the blockages that are in the body. So when you have an electrical current that is going through the body, sometimes those signals are not quite going through because something is blocking it. Now, this could be an emotional disturbance, this could be stress, this could be anxiety, this could be something that has happened to you. Like I've seen people, like my most recent client who has come in, she had a car accident. She's like, I just really haven't been feeling like myself, and I've just been dealing with a lot of things since I've had my accident. She was a type of person who didn't really want to rely on other people to help her, and she was finding that she had to rely on a lot more people since her accident. So she was dealing with a lot of things, and it was creating a lot of blockages. So what I would do is I would use my frequencies to go over the client to then help release those blockages so that way everything runs the way it's supposed to. Now, another question I hear from people is like, what are the different techniques? So the original person who created Reiki was Usui, and he created one way to do it, but there's been a lot of branch offs from his original setup. Now, we're not going to go into the huge history with Reiki on this video, but if you guys would like me to go over the history with it, we can totally do that. Just let me know in the comments. But there's two different types of Reiki. There's the non-invasive, which is non-touching, and there's the one that is invasive, which is very similar to a Swedish massage. Now, which one should you try? I recommend people try both. And also, a lot of people have very different spins on how they do it, so it really just depends on the practitioner. Who do you feel the most comfortable with? Like a lot of practitioners will ask you questions during your session just to see, because we can feel what's going on, and sometimes we just ask questions to verify. But with people who do the non-invasive, and this is where I need my helper. Where'd he go? Come here. Come here, Mr. Meow. All right, so with the non-invasive, the non-touching, literally all it is like a hovering, and this is all it is. So this is the non-touch one where it's just hovering over, and then the other one is very similar to a Swedish massage where you would physically be touching the person. And see, you like this, don't you? Yes, you'll do. Okay, I put you down now. Thank you. You're such a good help. So those are the two different types. Now, what I recommend is for people to try both of them, and every practitioner has a little bit of a different spin of how they do their sessions. Some people use crystals, some people use singing bowls. It really depends on preference, but I recommend you try multiple different ways to see which one do you resonate with the best. The other thing is, you're going to have a different reaction with different practitioners. No two practitioners are ever going to be the same. And it really just depends on how do you connect with the other person. Like, everybody has very different frequencies. Like, a best example is when you go out and meet somebody and there's just that instant connection where you're like, I like this person. This person's cool. I like them. I want to spend more time with them. The same thing is with your Reiki practitioner. You need to find somebody who you vibe with and who you feel comfortable. And as far as how you're going to react during your session, there's some people who have a very strong reaction, and there's some people who don't have any reaction, which is where the second technique comes in handy, because a lot of people like that second technique because they're like, I understand the benefits and I know what it's doing, I just don't feel anything. So for those people, they really enjoy the second one, which is very similar to a Swedish massage, because they still feel something and they're still getting all the benefits. And it could be they haven't found the right practitioner yet, or they are just that one person where they're not going to have a strong reaction. I've had people like tell me after session, they're like, I actually kind of start crying a little bit. I felt I had one person feel anger out of nowhere. And then I had another person who actually started laughing during the session. And I was like, what's so funny? So I was like, did I do something? And she's like, no, just like out of nowhere, I just felt like laughing. And what that is that's that blockage being released and being let go. Now, and everybody has a different reaction. Like, the first time I had a Reiki session, first time ever, never even knew what it was. I was like, this seems weird. Because also the lady who explained it to me, it sounded very hippie-ish, to be honest. It was very hippie-ish. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll try it. I'll try anything once. Sure, why not? So I mostly just wanted to see what the heck it even was. So I'm laying on the table, she's doing it. And this was the non-invasive one where she was just hovering over top of me. And I was sitting there and I could just feel myself getting like super, super sleepy. But I was trying not to fall asleep because I didn't want to. I was like, I need to stay awake so I could see what is going on. And I just felt myself like slipping slowly into this state, but then all of a sudden, but I was still fighting going to sleep. And then all of a sudden it felt like a rubber band just like stretched and stretched and stretched and then just fucking snapped. I felt the whole room spin, and I like grabbed the table and I'm like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And she looked at me and she's like, explain to me what you're feeling. And I told her what happened, and she's like, that's a new one. Okay. And then we were quiet for a few more minutes, and then she says to me, she's like, Brandy, by any chance were you trying to not fall, like, were you about to fall asleep, but were you fighting it? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, all right. So what happened was you were fighting the process of what the energy work was trying to do. So since you were fighting it, it just kept resisting and resisting and resisting until finally it snapped. And what you should have drifted into, you just basically experienced all at once, which is why the room spun. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So, but afterwards, I just felt this intense feeling of just relief and relaxation, and just like a huge weight just got lifted off of me. And it was so soothing, and I carried it into the next few days. So it's very beneficial to people, and not everybody has a crazy reaction. My only reaction now, since I do get this done quite often, is that I fall asleep, but it is the best sleep I ever get. But anywho, So that is a little bit about Reiki and what you can expect during a session. If you guys have any more questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you need to subscribe because we have a ton more information coming to you. So with that, that is what I have for you guys today. And until next time, I will see you then.